Hello everyone. We hope you're having an amazing day today. Yellowstone has been in our lives for the past 5 years and impressed us with its bold take on the Western genre. The Western genre has always been popular not only in the US but also in the global sphere. But the popularity of the Western genre has always been limited to the movie sector, with little to no representation on TV. Over the past decade, we have seen the resurgence of TV to the point that some even refer to it as the golden age of TV. From the production quality to the actors who appear in it, the TV sector started to overshadow the movie sector. Naturally, anyone who would like to flourish in this sector wanted to take part in TV rather than the movies, regardless of the genre that they would like to contribute to. So even though Taylor Sheridan's decision to produce a Western show on TV surprised many at first, today we can understand why he wanted to create Yellowstone on TV and how smart the move it was. Of course, just like any successful businessman, he didn't lose any time expanding his business, producing multiple spin-off series at once. One of those series is 4 Sixes, a show that will take place in the 4 Sixes Ranch in Texas, which is recently bought by Sheridan. Although it's been almost a year since the show got first announced, we're yet to get further details on what to expect from this new Western series. Neither a release date nor a trailer hit the internet so far. That being said, in terms of the content of the series, Sheridan did something very smart and basically started the show within a show by including 4 Sixes into Yellowstone. In Yellowstone Season 4, we watched Jimmy, one of the main characters of the series, move to 4 Sixes Ranch and starting a new life there. At that point, it was apparent that Jimmy was going to be the leading figure in 4 Sixes, and we were watching the beginning of a new show within the scope of Yellowstone Season 4. Now that Yellowstone Season 5 has begun and we're yet to get any more information on 4 Sixes, we can't help but wonder, will we see Jimmy in Yellowstone Season 5? First, let's get to know Jimmy. Jimmy is played by young actor Jefferson White. Having a troubled background, Jimmy is brought to Yellowstone Ranch by his grandfather, who is a dear friend of John, to be trained as a rancher. Despite being not bad at the rancher business, Jimmy was determined to be a cowboy instead and decided to follow his gut rather than listen to John's advice. Eventually, he hurt himself very badly, to the point that he couldn't even move for weeks. During that point, he had a single support mechanism: Mia. Mia was Jimmy's girlfriend who has been there for him at all times. She took care of him, fed him, treated his wounds, and did many more things that would be too long to describe here. And yet, once he started to get better, John came to Jimmy and told him that he needs to go to 4 Sixes Ranch in Texas and stay there for months to be the representative of Yellowstone there and get to know the rancher business better. This wasn't a pleasing idea for Jimmy at first, as he had a girlfriend in Yellowstone. But he was owing this to John and had no luxury to oppose. Besides, John advised him that if she would wait for him until he comes back, then it means she is a keeper and he doesn't need to get worried about it. So this became the beginning of Jimmy's journey, and it became a hell-long journey. For weeks, he was on the roads enjoying his time, trying to learn things as an underdog and speculating whether to write to Mia or not. Then he reached Texas, and suddenly, he felt like he was exactly where he was supposed to be. How? Well, Texas was away from drama, crisis, and fighting to protect your ranch or any rivalry over land. Texas was the home of the country lifestyle, making things easier for Jimmy to adapt to. It was peaceful and was truly a place to learn how to be a true cowboy. Also, he met a girl there and fell deeply in love. What a twist, isn't it? Suddenly, he forgot about Mia altogether and decided to stay in Texas rather than go back to Yellowstone. He visited Yellowstone once with his new girl, which caused major drama with Mia, as she couldn't accept the fact that Jimmy has moved on so quickly. Yes, we know what you were thinking. Jimmy is kind of a jerk. And yes, we can't help but agree with you. Poor Mia. Now we know that Jimmy is in Texas with his new girl, and there is still no news about the whereabouts of 4 Sixes. What does this mean then? Will Jimmy make an appearance on Yellowstone Season 5? Here's what White said in a recent interview regarding what to expect from Jimmy's future. He spent 4 years getting his ass kicked and falling off horses and getting beat up. So it's an amazing thing that for the first time in Season 5, he's sort of found some steady footing. I think at the end of Season 4, for the first time in his life, he got to make a decision. John Dutton presented him with a decision that's a very rare thing in his life. In Season 5, we find him living a life that he chose, maybe for the first time, which I think is a really incredible gift. It's interesting because there's accountability that comes with that decision, right? If you make the decision yourself, you're responsible for the consequences of your decisions. I think Jimmy has been a follower his entire life. He's been a sort of a good soldier his entire life, and now for the first time he's made some decisions about what he wants, and he's going to have to live with the consequences of that. Well, it seems like Jimmy is finally a grown man trying to build the life he wants to live in. We believe this also means that he might visit Yellowstone in Season 5, but just to show off how good his new life is, not to return to the Yellowstone Ranch by any means. We'll find out together how well his choices pan out. White continued, "I'm nervous for him. I'm always nervous for him." Based on these words, we believe Jimmy will make an appearance on Yellowstone Season 5, have a final face-off with Mia, and say goodbye to his life on the ranch for good this time. And then in 2023, we will begin a new adventure with him with the release of 4 Sixes. What are your thoughts on Jimmy? Do you consider him a jerk, or he is just a man who fell in love? Would you like to see him in Yellowstone Season 5? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.